Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a T110E3. It's a tier 10 American turretless tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Malinovka and it's under the command of Captain Ashstorm. And yes, he's been very busy with his medical work and he's back in the game again. He's now, I believe, a university professor. So, game started and the gun barrel drops. Oh, no, he is active. And he's away. So, what can I tell you about the T110E3? Well, if he's got the top gun, he's got a 155mm howitzer. Well, howitzer. It's a 155mm gun. Get it right. Okay. And it can do 750 alpha, as you can see here. And this tank is actually a direct derivative, you might say, of the T95. You can see the same sort of gun mantlets and the heavy armor at the front. In fact, the armor is so heavy, it's got 30.5mm of armor at the front of the vehicle. And in fact, one of the only weak spots is that cupola right on top. If you can penetrate that, then obviously you might be able to take out one of the loaders. What else can I tell you? Well, it was in 1954 that the US Army had a conference in Detroit, and they wanted to decide on what sort of tank destroyers they were going to be making in the future, as well as other tanks. And this was one of the ones that was considered, but it was rejected. And although it does have really great armor at the front of the vehicle, it's pretty naff at the sides and the rear. So if you can get behind one of these, then you're more than likely to be able to take it out of the game. In fact, the only protection that this tank has, if it does get someone behind it, is to back up against a hard object and hope that it can turn in time before the enemy actually does huge amounts of damage. And I say hope that they can turn in time, is it's got a very slow speed. You can see he's crawling up this hill, but the maximum speed of this vehicle is only 24 kilometers an hour. Combined with the fact that its reload time is pretty long as well, he's got the reload time down to 13.45 seconds, but it's a bit longer than that normally. So you can see that this tank can be quite vulnerable if somebody gets behind it. But if somebody's in front of it, well, they're in a lot of trouble, because if you've got the pointy end of this thing facing you, try and be somewhere else, because it can really dish out a huge amount of damage. And we've got a massive number of enemy tanks at the top of the hill, and although some of our guys raced up that hill to engage them, they don't seem to be doing too well. They're outnumbered and they're losing hit points, and so it looks like it's going to be up to Captain Ashstorm and this mouse alongside him to actually take on the enemy. Well, he's been spotted. Oh, and there's a large number of enemy tanks up there, and some very nasty ones, including Object 2684s, which is the sort of Soviet boogeyman, the opposite number. Captain Ashstorm fires an HE round at the 2684, and despite the fact that he's got massive armor, it doesn't protect him from HE. It's the big leveler HE. He's loaded again, fires another round in and gets some more damage. And the 2684 goes down to a 121. But unfortunately, we also lose the 121 to their IS-4. Captain Ashstorm fires one at the Object 2684 on the other side, and unfortunately doesn't get a hit. Now we're facing from two different directions, but that IS-4 is about to get a wake-up call. Yep, 300 hit points, or 301 into him. Captain Ashstorm's using up his HE supply quite quickly. Oh, and he has suffered a hit from the 2684. And that was on the T110E5, the heavy tank up there. That 2684, oh, he's bouncing rounds now. And they were going for the cupola as well. Well, we're going for the cupola as well, and that one doesn't connect. Probably just a little too high. We bounced another round for 840 off that one. And that was, I think there was some of those are heat rounds that are bouncing. And he puts one into the 2684 again. And he's run out of HE now, so he's on to the standard AP. So this should prove interesting, but it means that he might have to go for weak spots now to try and get the penetrations. The mouse is pulling back, but oh, now we've got a problem. We've got a 1-2-1 on the enemy team's managed to get behind us. And, well, bad move for him. He's been wiped out. And now we're going to use his wreck as a shield, extra armor, and do some damage to his teammates. Now, there is one of their teammates, an FB215B 183, that's the Death Star. He's off to our right, but I think he's in the dip, so he's not going to be hurting us. Progetto 65 pops up and takes a round for 930 hit points, and he's gone. He's out the game. But the 2684 just put a heat round through the roof of the turret. You can see that there. And that took out a loader, so we're going to need to put that back in. That's it. Use the first aid kit. Now, people are saying focus on the Death Star. I think the 2684 is still up on the hill. Just can't see him at the moment. I think we'd like to go after that Death Star. Okay, we switched to APCR instead to make sure we can pen that that 2684. We were spotted, so might be from that IS-4 that's just been wiped out over there. Still no sign of that 2684 up ahead of us. Okay, pushing the wreck out the way. There he is. Go for the lower plate. Yep, he's gone. So, we've selected AP again to save ourselves some credits. And now we're going to deal with this Death Star, who probably is not going to enjoy this. I think he's probably going to get absolutely hammered. And we're not alone. We've got two teammates with us, an AMX50B and the Mouse. They're both going to have a go at the same time. Oh, he's looking at us, Ma. He's looking at us. He's making strange looks at us. Yeah, he's turned his barrel towards us. Now he turned it towards the Mouse. Or is it the AMX50? Who's actually pumping rounds into that gorilla down below. Who fires one back. Yeah, the Death Star is decidedly worried. He knows what's coming. And in fact, actually, the AMX50B is moving up to get him from a crossfire. So he won't be able to point his gun at all of us. He'll have to pick one, and that will be his sole target. He's just taken some damage. He's vulnerable. And now he's out the game. Very nice. There aren't many enemies left. There's only a Type 5 Heavy and an Object 430U. Type 5 is on the lake side. Now, the Type 5 fires nasty HE rounds with quite a lot of damage. And Captain Ashstorm's got 677 hit points left. He's got 3 kills, and he's now been invited to platoon with the AMX50B, who's already in platoon with the ship bomb, the FV4005. And they've all got 3 kills. In fact, the ship bomb's got 77% of his health still remaining. Here we go. Type 5 Heavy. Oh, big round. But he goes down. Unfortunately, we lost 659 hit points, and we've now got 18 hit points left. Only 18. My gun, we've taken a lot of damage. But potentially, we might have a steel wall out of this. So the last enemy is the Object 430U. Last seen near our cap area. Ship barn's going ahead, so's the mouse. You can see the mouse took a couple of heat rounds right through the side of the turret. Heat rounds turn up as purple on these mods. And the mouse has only got 27 hit points as well. So, oh, and the mouse goes down. Oh, it's so sad. Right at the end of the game. There's the Object 430. Oh, and we don't connect, but our teammate does. And he tracked us just before he was wiped out. So it's game over. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tank for Captain Ashstorm in the T110E3. In fact, it's the first ace tanker he's had in this vehicle. And he also picked up a fire throw effect, a shell proof, a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a duelist, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 7, a brothers in arms for being in platoon with other tanks, which also managed to get 3 kills apiece, and also a steel wall for getting the highest amount of damage blocked and surviving the battle. And his win rate for that game was 3,199. Not bad for your first game after returning to the first ace after returning to the game. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see on the table he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to that Object 430U at the end. He got 5,783 hit points. Then came the AMX50B with 4,787. He managed to pick up a Brothers in Arms and Confederate. Then came the FV4005, 4,745, not far behind the AMX50B. He picked up a Brothers in Arms. Then we got the TVP with 4,303. In fact, actually, we've got that Object 430 in the way as well with 4,956, and he got a Confederate. And then we've got Captain Ashstorm with 3,733. When it came to kills, though, there was a 430U managed to get 4 kills, and there's a whole bunch of tanks who managed to get 3 kills apiece, including the IS-4, the AMX50B, the Ship Barn, Captain Ashstorm's T110E3, and the UDES as well. And when it came to base XP, it was Captain Ashstorm, and the reason he got it was because all that spotting damage. Yes, he was spotting the enemy up on the hill whilst his teammates were sitting behind him shooting them at long range, and it certainly paid off in the end. He managed to pick up 1,281 base experience points, 984 goes to the UDES, and 957 to the AMX50B. He fired only 13 rounds in that game. Most of them were HE as well. 10 direct hits, 4 penetrations, and 5 splash. Damage of 3,733 hit points in that game. And all of it close range. He received 12 hits from the enemy. 3 of them were penetrations, 8 non-penetrations, and 1 hit as a result of splash damage. That was an HE round that went straight through the mantlet. He did 2,590 hit points blocked, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 3 of them, and did 4,791 hit points as a spotting assist. On a premium count, he earned 67,511 credits, but after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, he actually took away a small loss of 3,827 credits. And the reason for that? Yes, he did fire some premium ammo, and that is expensive. He picked up 2 bonds for the awards and 17 for the battle, took home 19 in total, and 1,921 XP, 3,844 for the outgoing mission or completing a mission and events, and took home 5,765 altogether. So a brilliant round for Captain Ashstorm in the T110E3. I'm sure he's pretty pleased to get that ace tanker on his return to the game, and I'm sure many more will be on the way. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button, and more replays will be on the way shortly. Thanks for watching.